Welcome to the podcast, Accounting, We Go Beyond the Numbers, from Ross Bueller Falk, a CPA and business advisory firm. I'm Kay Wagner, your host for this podcast series. You'll receive great business advice here, including accounting, tax tips, and a whole lot more that will help you grow your business. Here we go. So today I have with me Scott Fiore, and Scott is an expert on the labor market. So every business owner that I talk to talks about the labor shortage, and I know that you're going to talk to us about that in just a minute as a preview for the September showcase event. Give us a little background so those who aren't familiar with you can know a little more about you.
Great. Thanks, Kay. Again, my name's Scott Fiore. I'm a partner at TriStarr. TriStarr is a staffing, recruiting, and consulting company based in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, doing business all over the United States and Canada. I've been with TriStarr since 1995, so just over 20 years, about 22 years now. Our focus is in a few different areas. Our temporary division focuses on clerical and administrative temporary help, and we'll do business with anywhere from about 200 to 250 unique clients in the central Pennsylvania market every year. We also have a direct hire, for lack of a better word, headhunting business, and that we do all over the country. We also do some consulting and recruitment process outsourcing. So we've become pretty well diversified in our market, which I would call human resources, specifically recruiting and staffing.
Okay, that sounds great, Scott. So you can see, folks, that Scott is really an expert on the labor market, and he's going to be one of our speakers for the RBF Executive Forum in September. We call it the Showcase event. It's going to be held on Tuesday, September 19th from 8 to 11 at the Lancaster Country Club. It is a free event, but we do ask that you register. So if you want more information for registration, you can go to rbfco.com and get more information there. In advance of this showcase event, Scott, give us a preview of what we're going to hear from you.
The labor market we're in now is tight. It's as tight as it's been since I've been in this business, so 25 years. And it's not just tight in Lancaster County. It's tight all over the country, and it's not just tight in some specific job titles. It's tight across the board. There's different reasons for that. I'll get into that in my presentation. It's interesting how the candidate market has changed, and generations have had an impact on that. You know, the message you'll hear loud and clear from me later this month is move quickly and move with conviction. I'm going to talk about the wage pressure we're starting to see. We haven't seen a whole lot of wage pressure in a good 7 or 8 years. That's changing, and I'll talk about that. Again, I mentioned earlier in my intro, we'll do business with 250 unique customers every year, and we're seeing across the board wage pressures, and those pressures obviously are up. I'm going to talk about benefits and attracting and retaining talent around benefits as the government, both federal and state, and in some instances local, gets their fingers more into employee benefits. The best companies at attracting and retaining talent are getting creative, and there's some interesting things we can talk about in my presentation. What I hear when I talk to my clients over and over again is culture. Culture wins, and if you can create a culture where people want to work, it's going to be easier. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be easier to attract talent and keep them. And then finally, there's an awful lot of talk about the millennials. They work for different reasons and yada, yada, yada. We're seeing them as competitive as anybody, and if you don't have a good career path in your organization, if there's not room for advancement and learning for this younger generation of employee, they're going to go find some place that is. So those are the primary topics I'm going to touch on. I'll throw some data at you. I'll leave some time for questions, and hopefully you'll leave with 1 or 2 nuggets that can help you make a couple of good hires this year.
So that's great, because I think I've already gotten a nugget. So are you saying that culture trumps the money?
Big time.
Does it really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. So, Scott, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic presentation, and I'm really looking forward to it. We also have that day Dean Zerbe, who is a Washington insider, who's going to be talking about the latest tax legislation. So combining Dean Zerbe's topic and your topic, I think every business owner, small, medium, and large companies should really be at this presentation. Again, the presentation will be on September 19th. That's a Tuesday. It'll be from 8 to 11 o'clock at the Lancaster Country Club. It's sponsored by Ross Bueller Falk, which is the sponsor of the RBF Executive Forum. Scott, I want to thank you so much for participating in the podcast, and also I'm looking forward to your presentation. So if I don't talk to you before then, I will see you at the podium.
I'm looking forward to it, Kay.
That's it for today, folks. Visit rbfco.com, that's rbfco.com, for more information on accounting that goes beyond the numbers. This is your host, Kay Wagner, for Ross Bueller Falk. Our next episode is coming soon. Don't miss it.